you got to talk to multiple people at the same time. Now, I'm not saying to date multiple people at the same time, like have 3 or 4 boyfriends or girlfriends. I'm saying that in the initial phases of communication, when you're first starting to put yourself out there, you need to be talking to multiple people, you need to be going on multiple dates. Because I want you to understand this. It's not about them liking you anymore. That's gone. It's about them liking you over everybody else in the dating marketplace. Especially if you met this person on a dating app, they're probably going on other dates. If you met this person out at a bar and they're attractive, they're probably getting hit up by other people. If you DM them on social media, guess what? They probably have other people DMing them on social media. Now, a lot of people get upset by this. A lot of people are like, if they're talking to multiple people, I don't want to talk to them. But this is the reality of the world today. If I'm asking a girl out and she's a young, attractive girl, the chances of her getting hit up by other dudes or having other guys trying to take her out is probably very high. And that's a green flag, because you should want the person that you're trying to talk to have other options, because it probably means they're doing something right and they're attracting other people into their life. Now, obviously, when you're in a committed relationship, you don't want this. You want the commitment, the loyalty, the trust, the respect, and there's certain things that they can't do in a relationship that they could do when they're single and, out and about. That's different. But I want you to understand, if you're trying to get in a relationship, you need to be talking to 2, 3, 4, 5 people at the same time. You need to be finding out what you like about this person and what you like about this person, and that comparison and contrast will help you identify who is the best option for you and vice versa for them. So many of you are like, oh, I'm only going to talk to one person because I'm a one person type of girl, I'm a one person type of guy. But you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot here, because while everybody else is talking to other people, you're just going to put all your eggs in one basket, and if it doesn't work out, you have to pick up and start all over again. This isn't a textbook process, by the way. This is an organic process of you getting to know multiple people, and some will pique your interest a little bit more than others. And if some are not doing good for you, you kind of push away from them and give them a little bit more distance. And if some are doing great for you, you follow up with them, you try to hang out with them more. It's a very organic and real process. Here's the other thing too. In the initial phases of communication, you don't want to come off too needy, and you don't want to be too emotionally attached to somebody. So when you have multiple people that you're talking to and something does not work out for you, if this person wants to abandon you or ghost you, you're not left emotionally fixated on this person. You're not constantly blowing them up or needy or obsessive or available. You're able to say, okay, this person is responding to me and these other people are, which means that these other people are a better fit for me. And this is what's going to allow you to stay away from toxic relationships and going to allow you to find the best person for you. This also allows you to space out your dates and become a little bit more scarce. Now, in a situation where someone's asking you if you're talking to somebody else, I would be straight up honest with them. I would say, yeah, I'm talking to a few other people, but I really am just getting to know you right now, and I do like where this is going, and I'd love to see where it goes in the future. If this person gets mad or upset that you're talking to multiple people, you don't owe them anything. You're not in a moral and ethical commitment with them. So you have to understand that this is also a red flag, and you can start to distance yourself from these people as well. Moral of the story is, talk to multiple people in the initial phase of dating to find out what works best for you. It's not about them liking you. It's about them liking you over everybody else out there. You need to have a backup plan, and you don't want to get overly attached, and you want to have a little bit of scarcity when it comes to dating in the initial phases.
This is one of those conversations that people don't always like. But it's the reality of modern dating. A lot of men talk to multiple women not because they are trying to play games, but because they are still in the phase of exploring, comparing, and trying to figure out what actually works for them. But let's go a level deeper. Sometimes it's not just about options, it's uncertainty. A man who isn't fully sure about what he wants or who he wants will naturally keep multiple connections open so he doesn't feel like he's missing out. And this is where many women get hurt, because while he's still figuring things out, you might already be emotionally invested. So here's what you need to take from this. Don't assume exclusivity in the early stages if it hasn't been clearly established. Pay attention to consistency. Who is actually showing up for you, not just talking to you? And most importantly, don't compete for a position in someone's life. Because the truth is, when a man is certain about you, you won't feel like one of many.
Every guy should be dating multiple women at once, and let me explain. What I don't mean is dating someone where one girl you're on a 10th date with, another girl you're on a 5th date with, and another girl you're on a 1st date with. What I mean is dating women all the way to a 3rd date and multiple. Why? Because it's more efficient. If you are dating a few women at once, you know that one is going to drop off because she won't be interested or you won't be interested. So at the very least, you're overlapping a little bit so you can already be with someone else, because we all know dating can be very draining, and going from one person to the next can be a lot of time. So you're dating one woman, you're on a 2nd date. Okay, set up another date with someone else on a 1st date with. And then You have another woman, that's on the third date, that's fine. Dating another woman, you can get another first date. But once you get past that third date, then you're starting to get a little bit more serious. And I get that after the third date, you're not necessarily interested in other women. So it's okay to date women from dates 1 to 3. And the unseen benefit is you get to learn faster what it is that you're looking for.
One of the biggest reasons why men talk with multiple women is because women love to ghost. Girls like to ghost men. So if a girl ghosts you, a girl that you want to be with, or you're trying to build a relationship with, ghosts you, you got other options. You got other girls you talk to. And you don't have to go in the DMs for other women. And you don't have to go approach other women in person to get their number, to get to know them, etc. So that's why men have multiple women they talk to, multiple girls. And so out of all the girls that you're talking to, the ones that are able to keep a conversation going are usually the ones that become in a romantic relationship, whether it's with one girl or multiple girls, because they're able to keep a conversation going instead of just ghosting you randomly.
When you listen to both sides, you start to see the full picture. A lot of men aren't just talking to multiple women for fun. Sometimes it's strategy, and sometimes it's protection. On one side, it's about efficiency, getting to know different people quickly so they can figure out who actually fits. On the other side, it's about avoiding disappointment because in today's dating world, inconsistency, ghosting, and mixed signals are very common. But let's be real for a second. Just because something is common doesn't always mean it's healthy. Because while he's keeping options open to protect himself, you might be investing your time, energy, and your emotions into something you think is growing, when in reality, you are still being compared. And that's where awareness becomes your power. You don't need to fight for attention. You don't need to prove your worth. And you definitely don't need to stay in a situation where you feel like one of many options. Instead, watch how a man moves. Is he consistent with you? Is he intentional about getting to know you? Or is he keeping things surface level while entertaining multiple connections? Because at the end of the day, a man who is truly sure about you won't keep you in a cycle of uncertainty. He will make his choice clear. So don't focus on competing. Focus on recognizing when you are genuinely being chosen.
Fellas, if you're dating one woman, you're already losing. And here's why. When you obsess over one girl, you get needy. You blow up her phone, you get stressed out when she doesn't reply. And guess what? She feels it, and she loses attraction to you. But when you have multiple women in rotation, one flake doesn't matter. You got other options. That's leverage, that's power. And what's crazy is when you move like that, your confidence shoots up. You'll talk different. You'll walk different because you don't need her. So stop clinging to one woman. Date multiple. Let them prove they deserve your commitment. Abundance first, scarcity last.
Here's why you need to be dating multiple women. Look, if you're a guy and you're putting all your eggs in one basket, there's a very high chance you're coming off as needy. When you come off as needy, she's not going to want you. Instead, you should be playing the long game, taking the time to get to know. Take her on dates here and there. Take other people on dates, because now you can perform better on a date because you have more experience under your belt. And you will quite literally level up your game. And she's going to catch on to that. And once she's sold on who you are and what you provide, that's a wrap. Want more help leveling up your game? Stay tuned for more tips.
So when you hear men talk about dating multiple women, it's easy to package it as confidence, options, or just how dating works today. But if you really look beneath it, a lot of it comes down to hesitation. Hesitation to fully invest, hesitation to be vulnerable, and sometimes not being sure enough about one person to let go of the others. And the part that often goes unspoken is this. Most women in that situation don't even know they are being compared. They just feel the inconsistency, the energy that shifts, the effort that comes and goes, the connection that never fully settles. So instead of taking it personally or trying to compete for someone's attention, shift your perspective. Not every man who is dating multiple women is ready to choose, and that has nothing to do with your worth. Because the truth is, when a man is certain about you, he doesn't need options to feel secure. He doesn't need to keep looking around, and he definitely doesn't leave you in a place of confusion. So don't focus on where you stand in his rotation. Focus on whether he's even in a place to choose at all. Because clarity, consistency, and intention, that's what separates a man who is exploring from a man who is ready.
What's going on, man? It's AG the Mac, and I am back. Yes, I am back with another video, and y'all gonna love this one. In this video, I want to speak on 4 reasons why you should talk to a lot of women. Now, before I get into the 4 reasons, I just want to add something that I've always been said in all of my videos, right? Well, most of my videos. And just the fact that there are 4 billion women on planet Earth. 4, right? With a B. Like, it's a lot of women out there, you feel me? So you don't want to miss the opportunity to learn. You don't want to miss an opportunity to get what it is that you want, whether you want to date, you want to fuck, you want to develop something into a serious long-term relationship. You don't want to miss out on fun opportunities with women. Like, there are so many opportunities, and this type of mindset bleeds into other areas of your life where you don't just give up after, like, let's say if you're on the job search and you're looking for a job, you don't give up after a couple of failed interviews. You just keep going and you keep looking for another one. So I just want to, put it out there that there are so many different benefits to, talking to a lot of women, right? But let's get into the 4 reasons. Reason number 1, you simply just want to date and fuck. Now, I don't have to go into no deep explanation about this one. You're a man, you know what you want, and this is a part of knowing yourself and loving yourself. You feel what I'm saying? When you know yourself and you love yourself, you will shamelessly, convey to women exactly what it is that you want, being honest, being a man of integrity, and just being decisive. You feel what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. Number 1, simply because you want to date and fuck. Number 2 is to develop exceptional discernment to decipher the women who's worthy of you based off of your authenticity. Now, this is a very important one because the more women you talk to, the more you develop a radar for the women who are for you and the women who aren't. You know what I'm saying? And this could even just be the way she's looking at you, the way her facial expression, like, her countenance, and just everything about her in that interaction can tell you whether or not she's for you or she's not. And it's this term called reading the room, right? This helps you develop reading the room and getting a read on people better. Just people in general, but in this video, we're talking specifically about women, right? And you got to understand that being truthful saves you so much time, and it shows you her character in relation to you, right? I'm not even talking about her. I'm not talking about just her. I'm talking about her character in relation to you, how it fits you and how it would fit you in your life, right? She's showing you her ugly side because based off of you being real. And that's what honesty does. It reveals to you her ugly side because, again, she doesn't like you. So she is revealing the negative things about her based off of you being true and real. Just like a woman would show you the positive side to her if she was for you. So that's what that is, where you're being truthful and you're being direct, and you get to see, okay, is she for me or is she not? Number 3 is to master the skill of leading women who's highly interested in you. Now, this is important, right? Because, mind you, I said highly interested in you. And going back to my previous point, when you talk to a lot of women, you have that radar of seeing who's highly interested in you. But if you get to the point where you talk to a woman and she is highly interested in you, now you got to be able to, let her know what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So let's just say you pull up on a girl. You say, hey, excuse me, I'm so-and-so. What's your name? She gives her name. And then you say, oh, let's say Sabrina, right? And she says, oh, Sabrina, I really like that name. Hey, listen, Sabrina, I think that you are looking sexy as fuck in those jeans. and I would love for us to go back to my spot so we could fuck, right? And she obviously, you know, women will give like a shocked response or something, but she'll say something like, "Oh, I love how you're direct and honest, and I'm interested. I want to do that." Right? So now this is a woman who's highly interested. You can say something like, "Hey, listen, pull out your phone and put my number in it, right? And we gonna talk on the phone tonight so we can set a time to meet." All right? So right then and there, that right there is how you properly lead a woman who's highly interested in you, right? And shit, I'm so smooth with this shit. Ask me how I know, nigga. I've been doing this shit for a while, but like, you know, you feel what I'm saying? And you don't have to even say exactly what I'm saying. You can say it in your own way and how you do everything. Me, I'm concise and I like to get to it. So, you know what I'm saying? Within the first 30 seconds of the conversation, she's already knowing what it is. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the key. The key is, again, having dominance within yourself, having structure within yourself, right? Leading yourself properly every day, because it is a skill that you have to craft and you have to, you know, nurture every day, right? And then when you go to a woman, it's just that much easy leading her because you've been leading and you have dominance and influence over yourself. So just keep that in mind. Developing the skill of leading a woman. And last but certainly not least, number 4 is to develop the muscle memory of walking away from women who aren't interested in you. Listen. About 70 to 90% of the women that you talk to, they aren't going to be interested in you. Now, again, the percentage may vary, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to say for certain, but I'm saying the majority of the women that you talk to aren't going to be for you. And don't look at it as a rejection, because you're a king. You have the God within you. Like, you're that dude. You should not let what a woman is saying sway you, move you into doing something different or being who you're not. Listen, let me say this. Doubt is the infiltration of thought from outside sources. So just because you get a negative response from a girl doesn't mean you switch up your shit and you do your own thing. This is why you have to develop the muscle memory of walking away from women. Because when you entertain women who aren't interested in you, you'll find yourself, you know, you have your regular spiel of what you say. You'll find yourself changing that. You'll find yourself having to do something different because you think that you're disrespecting women, right? By saying you want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you can't change. You're a man. You're a man of structure. You're a man of discipline. You stick to your guns. You don't change. You feel what I'm saying? And talking to a lot of women helps you develop that, right? And you have to curve women, because let me just quickly tell you this story, right? There was this chick I met at the mall, right? This is about a month and a half ago. And I introduced myself and I told her what I wanted to do with her, right? And she looked me dead in my eyes and she said, "Yo, if I punch you in the face, I'll be wrong, right?" So in return, I looked her in her eyes and I laughed and I walked away, right? Because just because I told you I wanted to fuck, right, doesn't give you the license to disrespect me. But I'm not going to entertain you because you're a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Every woman that you meet is a level 0 bitch. She hasn't proven anything to you, right? So you don't owe her an explanation. You don't owe her a response. Just walk away. Develop that muscle memory of walking away. You feel me?
When you really break this down, everything he's saying points to one thing. A lot of men date multiple women to build confidence, protect their ego, and avoid feeling rejected. Because when you have options, rejection doesn't hit as hard. When one person pulls away, there's someone else to focus on. And over time, that creates a sense of control. But here is the deeper layer. That same mindset can also make it harder for a man to slow down, connect deeply, and choose intentionally. Because when everything becomes about options, people can start to feel replaceable. And this is where many women get confused. You meet a man who seems bold, direct, and sure of himself, but behind that confidence, he's still in a phase of where he's exploring, testing, and not fully grounded in one direction. So instead of getting caught up in his words or his energy, watch his consistency. Because there's a difference between a man who is building himself and a man who is ready to build with someone. And the truth is, not every confident man is ready for commitment. So don't take it personally if you miss someone like this. It's not about you lacking anything, it's about where he is mentally and emotionally. Your focus shouldn't be trying to stand out among many. It should be recognizing when someone is actually ready to choose one. Because real connection doesn't come from having endless options. It comes from clarity, intention, and the willingness to stay. So after everything we've talked about in this video, I want you to take this with you. A lot of men date multiple women for different reasons: confidence, options, avoiding rejection, or simply because they are still figuring out what they want. And while that might be the reality of modern dating, it doesn't mean you have to lose yourself trying to understand it. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about why he's doing it, it's about what it means for you. If someone is still exploring, still comparing, still keeping their options open, then they are not in a place to offer you clarity, consistency, or depth. And that is where many people get stuck, trying to prove their worth, trying to stand out, trying to be chosen. But real connection doesn't come from competition. It comes from two people who are both ready, both intentional, and both willing to show up fully. So instead of asking, why is he dating multiple women? Start asking, is this someone who is even ready to choose? Because when someone is truly ready for you, you won't feel like an option. You will feel like a decision. And that's the difference. If this video gave you clarity or made you see things differently, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more honest conversations like this one.